because of their magic of unfrozen, this Christmas will be unfrozen. Will be 35 degrees. Wow, that's awesome. Because of these guys, right? Jesus. Who is this man? When I see the dateline in the newspaper or in my cell phone, it says today is December 21st, 2014. We don't think about this very often, but 2014 years from what? It's from the birth of a little baby. It's not surprising. You can't open a newspaper, you can't look at a cell phone and see the dateline without being reminded of this man named Jesus. Every year, for Christmas seasons, many people go on vacation to the Los Angeles area. Why is there a Los Angeles? Because it's the city of angels, messengers of God who sang joy to the world. San Francisco. Why is there a San Francisco? Because of Saint Francis, a devoted follower of this man named Jesus. People honored him and named the city after his name. You know, Sacramento. Why is there a Sacramento? Because this man named Jesus had a meal to express God's love, and that meal became a holy thing of communion, of sacrament. Before I moved into Savannah, I lived in Chicago for a while. Why is there a Chicago? No one knows. Even Jesus does not know why there's a Chicago. See, you can't look at a map without this man. Who knew in Jesus' day that we can't read the names of cities 2,000 years later on the other side of the earth without being reminded of this man named Jesus? Every year, Time magazine named the person of the year, the one individual who had the biggest impact on the world. And every year, everybody guesses, everybody argues. Last year, it was Pope Francis. And the other year, that was Barack Obama. This year, 2014, Time named, take a look, Ebola fighters as the persons of the year. Because we all honor them who are willing to risk their lives to save the victims in the poorest parts of the earth. They deserve it. They sacrifice it, even their lives. And 14 years ago, when it was the new millennium, 2000, Time tried to name the person of the century. And there were so many candidates, and it was way, way harder to try to name one person out of a century. Can you guess who was chosen as the persons of the 20th century? It's Elvis Presley. It's joking. It's joking. No, not Elvis Presley. It can't be. But it's a good joke because it's exhilarating, right? Not John Wayne. No Michael Jordan. Actually, it was Albert Einstein. He helped change the world in a different level. But it was a hardcore, and not all people agree with it because so many people chose so many different kinds of people as really influential, like Franklin Roosevelt, Mahatma Gandhi, Bill Gates, Nelson Mandela, or Steven Spielberg. See, it's kind of hard to name a person of the year and really tough to name a person of the century. Here's irony. If you had to choose the name of the single person who has had the biggest impact on the world in the history of the human race, since the beginning of recorded time, that one life that has touched every continent, every tribe, every culture, like music, paintings, literature, art, economy, and policies. If you had to choose just one name, who would that be? There will be a great argument about it, but there's one name. Just one name that no one would be able to deny. He was born 20 centuries ago to an impoverished couple in an obscure small village named Bethlehem. Maybe a few hundred people ever met him. Maybe a few thousand people ever heard him. He never traveled outside of his county, Judea. He never wrote a book. He never had an office, never led an army, never governed a country, never got any kinds of school education. He didn't even have a home. He was homeless. And yet, over the next 2,000 years, that one name would make the greatest impact on the world's history. He would inspire the founding of more universities like Oxford, Cambridge, take a look next screen, and Harvard, Yale, and Northwestern, and North Central College, though he was unschooled. And the launching of more charities like Compassion, World Vision, and the more hospitals like Mercy Hospital, St. Anthony Hospitals, and Red Cross. And the launching of more charities, like I said, Compassion, World Vision, and the writing of more books, the expression of more great art and music and paintings. And the instrument on which he eventually died, the cross, a mode of execution, has become the single most recognizable symbol in all of the world. And countless people are still following this man, dedicating their finances, dedicating their possessions, their safety, careers, and even their life all around the world. When they are sick, when they are lonely, when they are broken, when they are in grief, when they are in need, they would call upon this name and find peace. When we get married, when we get buried, all happens in this name. Who is this man? I was thinking, what if you could have gone back there and woken up somebody in Bethlehem and told them there is a little baby being born in your village tonight, and 2,000 years later, on his birthday, people on his birthday, on just at the mere anniversary of his birth, people will be gathering around the world to remember his name, sing his praise, hear his story, honor his name. And all people would decorate the whole cities and their houses and their living rooms and exchange gifts to celebrate his birthday. Who would have believed that? And now the obvious question is this: who is this man? Why? Why do people do that? He was born, and we are here to celebrate his birth because we believe something special about him. We are not crazy, aren't you? We are here because we believe something special about the little baby. We believe something more than just human was happening in the town of Bethlehem. And today's scripture says like this. Take a look. Next screen. In him was life, and that light was the light of the world. The true light that enlightens everyone was coming into the world. Who was this man? He was the light of the world filled with darkness. He is the life to the lifeless. He is the hope of the oppressed, the good news to the poor, healer of the sick, for the peace for the anxious, freedom for the captives, comforter for the mourn. He is the King of kings, the Lord of lords. He is the light of the world. Christmas is the day when heaven meets earth, when God comes all the way down to earth to meet us. In a song that the community choir will sing tonight, there's a lyric like this: the deaf will give praise hearing music. The mute will give praises finding voice. The lame and the blind will know healing. And every creation will dance and rejoice. His birth changed everything. He changed the world. Friends, let us rejoice his coming. Let us celebrate Emmanuel, his presence, God with us. Christmas is the day when heaven meets earth, when heaven meets you. It's a good news. It's miracle. I wish you a Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas, everybody. Amen.